Alright everyone, welcome back. This video covers writing an equation in standard form when you are given the solutions of that equation, in particular when the solutions are radicals. So let's look at number 1. Here we have x is equal to negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 13. We want to try to get the square root of 13 by itself. So we need to move the negative 10 over. We'll do that by adding its opposite. So we're going to add positive 10 to both sides. The 10s cancel on the right, and on the left you have x plus 10. So x plus 10 equals plus or minus the square root of 13. Now we want to get rid of the radical, so we'll raise that to the second power on both sides. So now we have x plus 10 squared equals plus or minus the square root of 13 squared. That results in just 13 on the right because the radical goes away when you square it. And then on the left, x plus 10 squared is x plus 10 multiplied times x plus 10. Now the next step is to distribute the x plus 10s times each other. So that means we're multiplying x times x to get x squared. X times 10 is 10x. 10 times x is 10x again, and then 10 times 10 is 100. And that, of course, equals 13. The next step is to combine like terms. That's 10x plus 10x. That makes 20x. Now, in standard form, you want everything on the left side and you want it to be equal to 0 on the right. So now what we want to do is to get rid of the 13 to make it 0. So let's subtract 13 from both sides. That ends up being 0 on the right. 13 minus 13 is 0. And then 100 minus 13 is 87. So we have the equation x squared plus 20x plus 87 equals 0. And that is in standard form, which of course is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. All right, here's another example. The solution is x equals 6 plus or minus the square root of 2. We want to get the radical by itself, so we'll subtract 6 from both sides so that we can move the 6 over. The result would be x minus 6 on the left equals plus or minus the square root of 2. Now we want to square both sides, so you'll end up with x minus 6 all squared equals plus or minus the square root of 2 all squared. Now when you square the radical goes away, so you just end up with positive 2 on the right. And then on the left, you're multiplying x minus 6 times itself. Now the next step is to distribute everything. So you're going to do x times x, which is going to give you x squared. X times negative 6 is negative 6x. Negative 6 times x again is negative 6x. And then negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. And of course that's equal to 2. Next step would be to add like terms. So that's negative 6x minus 6x would be negative 12x. And then you want to get the 2, move the 2 over to the left. So you'll have to subtract 2 from both sides. And you end up with 0 on the right. And on the left, when you subtract 36 minus 2, that leaves you with 34. And so your final equation is x squared minus 12x plus 34 equals 0.